The Newsday continues here on 101 News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. With the discovery of the Omicron variant from South Africa, is it time to push through with the planned easing of restrictions? To answer this, we have with us this afternoon former NTF advisor and public health advocate Dr. Tony Liachon is joining us via Zoom. Doc, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Risa. Good afternoon to all your televiewers.
Doc, do you think it is the right time to downgrade to alert level 1 come January?
I don't think it's the right time to downgrade to alert level 1 without completing our vaccination target goal. Of course, we know that based on the Bloomberg Resilience Ranking, we need to have the positivity rate less than 5% based on the WHO benchmark. But we have also a target goal of above 70% vaccination rate. And this would actually be aligned with socioeconomic recovery. Our national vaccination program is around 36%, and only the National Capital Region is above 80% at 90%. And the rest of the Philippines outside of the NCR is just averaging 30 to around 40%. So it would be dangerous considering that the holiday season would actually, attract a lot of shoppers, and you will increase the volume of people going to the malls and other areas. Now, with this particular news of the Omicron variant appearing in other places of the world, particularly in Hong Kong, its close proximity to our country would actually pose a risk for a country in which the national vaccination program is around 36%. It is said that the best protection for the people is to have a vaccination rate above 70 or even 90%, so that you'll be a stronger and a resilient population just in case this particular variant would penetrate the country through the borders.
Doc, we know very little of this variant yet, but do you think it is possible that the Omicron variant would be more dangerous than the Delta variant, considering, again, its high mutations?
Well, based on the data that we have right now from the South African health authorities, and of course from the official press release of the World Health Organization, this particular variant is actually more transmissible than the Delta variant. It can cause severe illness. It might render the vaccines that we have ineffective. That's why the vaccine manufacturers are studying it right now, whether they would be responding well to this particular variant. It will also increase the risk of reinfection in the event that you had a previous COVID infection. So the best thing to do right now is to have your primary vaccines, the first and second. And if you have the first and second after the 6 month, or you have a single dose vaccine that is a Johnson and Johnson, it's better to have the booster. And let's make the December a month of preparation for our vaccination target. That's number one. Vaccinate the vulnerable group, the senior citizen. 40% of the senior citizens are not yet vaccinated. In order to prepare as well as the kids, only 3 million of the minors have been vaccinated, and our target is 12.7 million. So if we do our vaccination program slated for tomorrow until Wednesday, and then another one December 15 to 17, and then come up with an aggressive booster program as well as for the minors, I think that December will be fine. We will have a merrier and a safer Christmas, and then we're ready for any eventuality this coming January.
Doc, you mentioned the booster shots. Just to reiterate, you're recommending that booster shots should be rolled out, let's say, for the general public?
Well, it should be first on the priority group, given the vaccine supplies are limited. So I would like to recommend that the healthcare workers should be actually be the priority group given the risk that they are facing in the front line. Number two, the senior citizens, they are the most vulnerable patients, and then those with comorbidities less than 60 years old. And of course, the minors. We know in the study in Israel, those who unvaccinated individuals are below 18, and this would be the ones also vulnerable, the minors. And if we want them to go out, let's say, in the malls as well as conduct face-to-face sessions already, then we need to vaccinate the minors, around 12.7 million.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so my answer is we will try to prioritize given the limited supply. But if we have the opportunity to have more supply, then we have to um, align with the US that everybody above 18 should be given that particular third shot after the primary vaccines, after 6 months or third month with a single vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Tony, final question. Given all this data that we have regarding, again, our vaccination rate, would you say it's perhaps safe to say that we'll be safe from any surge come the holiday season?
Um, we have yet to see the next 2 weeks because we're, 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 we're just thinking that we don't know whether the Omicron variant has entered the country. We don't know for sure. The next 2 weeks will be vital for our country or crucial. But I'm sure with the sandbag that we have right now, we have only less than 1,000 yesterday at 899, and our positivity rate is about 2.5% only, and our hospitals are actually okay at the safe zone. I think we have gained so much in the last few months in terms of reduction of our viral transmission. But the next important goal to permanently end the pandemic is actually to ramp up the vaccination to come up with the 70%. Unless otherwise, Risa, that we have at least 70%, then I cannot declare victory too soon. We should be
Mm-hmm.
vigilant. We should not be complacent, given the challenges that we are facing right now, particularly during the holiday season, when you expect an increased volume of people going out in the malls and other areas of entertainment and recreation.
Well, Dr. Tony, thank you as always for sharing with us this information and your time. Maraming salamat po. That's Dr. Tony Liachon.
Thank you very much, Risa. Thank you.
Now, the United States, meanwhile, government has praised South Africa for detecting the Omicron variant and sharing available information to the world. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken spoke with South Africa's International and Cooperation Minister to discuss vaccinating people in Africa. Blinken praised South Africa's scientists for the quick identification of the new variant and the government's transparency on the matter. This seems to be a veiled slap at China's handling of the original outbreak of the coronavirus. Now, we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. you're still watching One News Now, I'm Riza Diaz. Novax has started working on a COVID-19 vaccine against the Omicron variant. Novax said that they will have the shot ready for testing and manufacturing in the next few weeks. This jab will contain an actual version of the virus spike protein specifically based on the genetic sequence of the variant. Now the company aims to file for US approval for the new jabs by the end of the year. It has also filed approvals with the European Medicine Agency as well as in Canada. Now, other vaccine developers, including Germany's BioNTech SE and Johnson& and Johnson, are testing the effectiveness of their shots against the new variant. Now, as presidential candidate and Manila Mayor Isko Moreno makes political rounds in various parts of the country, he assures his critics that his local government is still handling the COVID-19 crisis properly. JC Cosico has the story.
Aksyon Demokratiko standard bearer and Manila Mayor Isko Moreno Dumagoso visited the San Pablo City Public Market in Laguna on Saturday. There, he bought food and even ate sagobi or ginataang bilo-bilo in an eatery. He exchanged handshakes and took selfies with people, apparently disregarding the physical distancing protocol. The COMELEC earlier banned these during the campaign period for the 2022 elections.
Nag-iingat naman kami. At saka kinakargaan ko ng maraming dasal. Ang gusto ko, makasalamuha ang tao. Pero sir, with all honesty. But it's scary in a way, technically. But that's the price we have to pay.
Some critics are questioning his listening tours as he remains to be the mayor of Manila. In response, Dumagoso assured them that his city is still on track, including its COVID-19 response.
Kamusta naman ba Maynila? Basta masaya ako, ako na may panatag. Kayang-kaya ni Vice Mayor Hani Lacuna. Yesterday is our lowest COVID case since last year. Kahapon 10 lang.
During a town hall meeting with multi-sectoral groups in San Pablo, a resident said Dumagoso's visit convinced her to support the presidential aspirant.
Ang gusto ko si Lenny. Pero nung mapakinggan ko lahat ng sinabi mo, ikaw na.
Salamat sa Diyos. I hope marami pang ganun. Kaya gustong-gusto namin makipag-usap mismo sa tao.
When asked if he's threatened after 4 major political parties, namely Partido Federal ng Pilipinas, Lakas Christian Muslim Democrats, hugpong ng pagbabago and Puwersa ng Masang Pilipino joined forces to support the Marcos Duterte tandem, Dumagoso had this to say.
Kami aksyon demokratiko Dire-diretso lang kami, focus lang kami sa tao. Yes, sir. Hindi rin naman kami ang makakapag-desisyon on their behalf. I wish them good luck.
Dumagoso, together with his running mate Dr. Willie Ong and senatorial aspirants Carl Balita, Jopet Sison and Samira Gutok, also went to Quezon Province. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
Presidential aspirant and Senator Manny Pacquiao visits Siargao Island. Pacquiao gave away cash assistance, rice, and chicken to residents in the island. He also visited the Siargao District Hospital, which he says needs more funding from the government. Now, the presidential candidate also met with local leaders in Siargao. Pacquiao vowed to continue providing assistance to those in need.
Hindi naman pera ko yan, pera ng Panginoon. At alam ko ang Panginoon, siya naman may-ari ng lahat. So kung ano yung binigay niyang blessing sa akin, sinishare ko lang sa taong bayan.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 2 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.